Thanks for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an affiliate site for sale on the kitchen appliance niche. Created in February 2013, this business makes nearly $4,500 a month in net profit, and the listing number for this one is 40468. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making your buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business, cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, happy to be here.
All right, Adam. So let me do a quick summary of the business. You can let me know, make sure we're on track here. It was built in February 2013. The monthly revenue is $4,708 a month. That's a 12-month average. We've got expenses at $253 a month. We've got net profit at $4,455 a month. Again, that's a 12-month average. Included with this business is the domain name, the SSL cert, WordPress site files and database, the product stock alert tool built on Heroku, which we're going to talk about. You've got a MailChimp account and social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Does that sound about right?
Yep, exactly.
All right, man. So let's do a quick or brief introduction on kind of your background in building and running online businesses. How'd you get into this whole thing?
Yeah, so this is kind of an interesting story. So I've basically been developing for the web for about 11 years. And spent a lot of time actually doing freelance for other people, and then one day kind of decided, hey, I'm going to spend some time on what really interests me. Kind of built a site around some of my interests in healthy eating and things like that, and kind of got to where I am now.
Cool. Okay. And then tell me about how this site primarily makes money. Explain kind of the affiliate process.
Sure. Yeah. So basically, just have 2 affiliate partners currently, and each one basically recommend products on my site, deliver traffic to their site, and they complete the checkout process on the affiliate partner site, and I receive a portion of that purchase price.
Awesome. Without getting into too much detail about the URL or the exact niche, why did you get into this niche in particular?
Yeah, I think it was kind of my interest in really kind of taking a look at the way that I was eating food and the things that I was really kind of doing on a daily basis, and then looking to kind of improve that. It's definitely more focused towards the healthy eating side of things. So really kind of, just kind of stuck with me ever since kind of working on this project, and really kind of got into the food aspect of things.
Awesome, Adam. Okay, so tell me a little bit about why you're selling the business. I mean, you've had it for now a little over 3 years. Why don't you just keep it for another couple of years? Why not keep growing it out?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I've thought about. I mean, it's not a site that takes a lot of effort to really maintain. But, I recently bought a house, looking to do some pretty major home improvement work. And then, I have a few other businesses that I'm looking at kind of investing some more of my time and money into here within the next few months.
Cool. So, it's actually not that surprising. We have a lot of people that sell their virtual real estate businesses to invest in physical real estate, whether it's buying homes or buying rental properties, that, reinvesting in their primary residence or other properties. It's kind of interesting. Well, what kind of business were you thinking about getting into?
Definitely staying more in the affiliate niche. I think I want to kind of explore some more generalized sites, something more in sort of the gift side of things, kind of opening up some more, I guess, wider product selection than I'm currently in now.
Cool. Okay, so let's talk about kind of the trajectory of the site history. I mean, it's built in February 2013. Was this an immediate win for you, like 2 or 3 months later, or was it already earning and doing well, or did it take a lot longer to kind of build up to earnings?
Yeah, I would say it probably took about 6 months before I really started pulling in a pretty significant amount of traffic, and then really kind of understood how to convert those people into buyers. So I'd say probably the first 6 months was a lot of time spent creating content and developing the site. Given my background with doing development, it was something I really enjoyed and really kind of dug into. But really after the first 6 months is when I really started to see a pretty healthy return on the site. I really spent the time really kind of tweaking it and optimizing it in a way to really kind of improve that. Since really haven't had as much time to work on things recently, and maybe that's why things have started to kind of tail off or level off a little bit.
You mentioned that you're building a lot of content up front. What was your kind of content process? Did you do the traditional keyword research, find additional keywords in the niche, start to write content about it, do internal linking, or is it more like, you thought this would be interesting in the niche?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a lot of research. So one of the things that I really kind of dove into was the SEO aspect. Really found that really interesting. Did a lot of research around keywords, really tried to kind of get in the potential buyer's mind from a psychological aspect and really try to understand what they were looking for and try to create content that spoke directly to that need. So it definitely did a lot of keyword research, did a lot of writing up front, spent a lot of time editing, and eventually came up, with some really great content that ranked very well for some very key terms.
Have you done all the writing yourself, or did you pay someone to write it?
Early on, I did outsource a little bit of it, but I would say that nothing has ever been posted to the site without me doing some editing on it. So I wanted to make sure that everything was factually correct, but then also kind of kept the tone that I wanted to kind of present for the site. So I made sure to edit everything so that it fit that.
Yeah, the tone and the voice, right? It's so important. So we have writers, and even when I write for Empire Flippers, we have an editor, and one of her jobs, aside from taking out my grammatical mistakes, is making sure that the tone that we say, no matter who's writing it, is similar. And so I'd imagine for the site, you try to do something similar in terms of making sure that you're always kind of coming from the same voice. I think that's interesting. Was this your first site that you ever built, or if not, was it your biggest or most successful site?
As far as a site that I built specifically for myself, yes, this was really the first one that I really spent a lot of time on. I've done some pretty large-scale projects for enterprise-level clients, but never really kind of done from start to finish the strategy, the content creation, the development, the design, everything really involved in creating a website. So this was really the first one that I kind of dove in head first and tried to take it all on myself.
Cool. Well, congrats with that, man, because it's doing really
Thanks.
well. And I'm sure, buyers are going to be happy to take this one on. Let's talk about traffic and earnings a little bit. My guess is that the huge majority of the traffic to this site is organic. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I would say probably about 90% of all traffic is organic.
So one of the questions I have about all that organic traffic, are you primarily getting your traffic from like one or two main keywords, or are we talking like a couple dozen keywords that are, various rankings?
Yeah, I would say there's definitely about 10 to 15 keywords that I rank within the top 10 on Google's organic search for that drive pretty much the majority of all the traffic to the site. Now, these are keywords that are product specific, but also comparison of various products within that specific niche.
Gotcha. Okay. And with the affiliates, you said you have two different affiliate partners. Are they through like Commission Junction? Are they small affiliates? How did you find them? Like, what's the deal with them?
Yeah, so one of the affiliates is actually through both Commission Junction and Avant Link, and then the other one runs a private affiliate program.
Okay, great. And then in terms of earnings, like how stable are the earnings? If someone buys this, are they looking at up 30% one month, down 40% the next, or they've been relatively stable?
I would say they've been relatively stable, with the exception of holiday period where they do spike quite a bit. Now, the product specifically is fairly seasonal in that a lot of times this is something that you might ask for Christmas. So there is quite a big uptick around the holidays, and I've spent a lot of time really optimizing the content for some of those holiday search terms.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, it's not just a Christmas thing. If you look at the listing page, and we're going to have a link to that in the show notes for everybody, but the listing page is relatively stable throughout the year. Christmas, January is definitely up a bit higher. And one of the reasons I'm guessing your January, February earnings are up is because you're just then getting paid for the Christmas rush, and that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me how much content is on the site right now, and then how much are you adding on a regular basis?
I'd say right now there's probably about 40 different product reviews, and I'd say probably 40 to 50 different more lifestyle-focused articles. Typically, I try to add maybe one new tip or article per week, maybe per month, kind of depending on what's really going on in this specific niche. We haven't had a ton of time because I've been busy with other things, especially the house. So that's sort of slipped a little bit, and this is kind of why I've seen is it might be a great time to hand this off to somebody else who can give it the attention it deserves.
Cool. All right, so let's talk about opportunities in the business. I mean, clearly, if you were going to keep the business, and one of the things you do is continue to add content, right? If you added at least a couple of articles a month, a couple lifestyle type, a couple review type articles, I think that would help with the business. Do you do anything with like the internal links, or what do you do for external links?
The external links, I've been lucky because those typically appear organically. I've had a few nice, mentions within sites like Business Insider or The Kitchen that have really helped drive some referral traffic, which obviously helps with some of the search engine optimization as well. As far as internal links, I'm really just trying to be cognizant of when I'm writing new content for the site to make sure that I'm linking as appropriately.
Cool. And then you haven't done any paid links, or you don't have a PBN attached to the site?
No.
Cool. Okay. Some buyers would be interested in that prefer no PBNs, because that can be a fear of theirs when buying a site.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was one of mine for sure.
What do you think in terms of opportunities? What would you do if you were keeping this, if you weren't selling the site over the next 2 to 3 years? What are kind of the things you would focus on with this business?
Yeah, I think definitely there's a lot of opportunity to really kind of focus on the comparison side of things. That's one of the articles that have done really well, is really kind of comparing one product to the other. And I do get a lot of search traffic from, this versus that, or this better than that. And I think that that's a lot of opportunity there to really kind of, shine in that area. So I think that, that might be one thing that somebody could really focus on is doing that comparison. And I've built some pretty cool tools to really kind of support that as well.
I love the comparison model. We were selling a business. We actually got it back again. We're selling it again, but it compares 2 pieces of software. So, and those are anything that can be kind of confusing, or that consumers are kind of, confused about in terms of which is better. Like if you can really explain to them and explain to them well, not some kind of BS writing, but you actually know what you're talking about. Consumers really dig that. It's really, really helpful, and you're going to get improved rankings. Let's talk a little bit about the risks with this business. I mean, anytime you're talking about an organic site that's ranked on Google, you're kind of based on Google's whim, right? So if Google decides, you're not ready for the 3rd spot on the first page, we're going to bump you to the 8th spot, you run the risk of losing traffic, getting penalized or getting removed from the Google index. Obviously, are the big ones that would be scary. I think with no paid backlinks, that puts you in a better position for not having that happen. But what other risks do you see with this business?
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, and that's one of the reasons I really tried to stay away from the PPN was, that potential risk of kind of ruining the organic traffic. So I definitely see that as still being a risk, just because Google sort of can change algorithms at a whim. But I do think kind of continuing to build a solid base of content, gaining links organically would really kind of guard against that. I think maybe another potential risk might be, really just kind of not being seen as an authority in that space, or having somebody else really kind of jump out and try to take that spot away. I've really spent a lot of time building almost an authoritative stance on this specific product.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that, somebody could potentially kind of come in with a very strong base of content and take away, but it would take some time.
Yep. I think that the quality of your content on the site is good, and I think that's helpful for kind of maintaining an authoritative role. One of the other concerns I would say are the affiliates. What if the affiliates change their deal? They change their process. Have you seen any changes with the affiliates since you've owned the site and been working with them?
Now, both of them have been fairly consistent. And I do know that one of them basically runs with a very strong direct sales model, sort of like in their history. So they do look really to affiliates or demonstrators to really help promote their product. So I don't see that as being something that's going to be going away anytime soon.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the work required. Can you tell me what you have to do to maintain this business on a daily and a weekly and a monthly basis?
Sure. Yeah. I would say for the most part, this is a fairly passive, income earner. For me, it really kind of comes down to, on a daily basis, really spending 10 to 15 minutes, responding to any emails or any comments that come through the site. And then maybe spending, 30 to 60 minutes a week, kind of establishing some sort of social schedule. So, putting some content together and scheduling that out in Facebook or Hootsuite or something like that. And then really, maybe once a week, spending 30 to 60 minutes writing a new article or a new blog post for the site. And then, occasionally there might be, some opportunity to write a longer form article, whether that's a new comparison or a new review of a product. And so for something like that, I might say another, maybe 4 to 8 hours on a monthly basis.
Gotcha. So 2 to 3 hours a week and maybe a full day a month writing a longer form article, or at least having it written. You can have someone do that for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Tell me about, the MailChimp account. How many email subscribers do you have?
So I've accumulated quite a few just over the years. There's one list that I do email on a fairly regular basis of about 100 people. And this is just sort of the update list. I've collected some over the years through basically like an out of stock notification. So that's one of the things maybe we can touch on in a little bit is basically, being able to email people when a specific product comes back into stock. Now, that's not something I would say you could probably just email on a whim, but I would say the 100 people would be fair game.
Cool. It's always weird with, particularly with AdSense sites, but with affiliate sites too, where you start collecting email addresses because if you're having them take the opt-in action, maybe they're less likely to be actually clicking on as affiliate. I think your site might be a little bit different though, in that it's a site that people would come back to. Like it's something that they may come to as a destination rather than just kind of an interrupt as they're heading to go purchase whatever. So that kind of makes sense to me. With social media, like how much traffic are you getting via social media right now? Not much, right?
No, it's definitely a small portion of the traffic. When I do write a new article or something like that, I will spend some time to kind of promote it out on the various social networks just to try to gain a little bit of traction, but really just kind of see it as sort of a supplement for the organic traffic that the site normally gets.
Yeah, and to help diversify, against the organic too. And as you build that up, it gets more diversification. Tell me, so I'm not a tech guy, and so break this down for me, Adam. There's a product stock alert tool built on Heroku. What does that mean? And if I was buying the site, what do I have to do with that?
Yeah, so this is actually something I'm actually really excited about. This was sort of a little pet project of mine. So one of the affiliates, they had some issues early on with keeping specific products in stock on a fairly regular basis. So, I would have people on my site who were ready to buy. They would end up going over to the affiliate partner and, couldn't buy anything. So, one of the things that I really kind of sat down and thought is, every other website that I've ever visited, that's really worth their salt, has a way for me to put in my email address and get an alert and let me know when this product is back in stock so I can go and purchase it. So, being a tech guy, I looked at this as a challenge and said, well, I bet I could find out when this product is back in stock almost as soon as they put it up on the site. So basically, I just built a little, I guess, back-end service to go out and ping, the affiliate partner site and see is this product in stock? And, if yes, go ahead and send me an email and let me know, so that I can let this list of maybe 100 people know that this product's back in stock and ready for them to buy. So, I basically just kind of built this out on a couple weeks, spent some time really kind of diving into the technical stuff on it and really enjoyed it. And basically just kind of used a MailChimp account to kind of gather the email addresses of people who are interested in buying this product and said, hey, as soon as it comes back in stock, we'll send you an email. You guys can go and buy it. So that's something that was really successful early on. There'd be times when I would have 100 people on that list and be able to send out an email and say, hey, this product's back in stock, go buy it. And honestly, that specific product would sell out in a matter of hours, probably because of the traffic that I was sending to it.
That's cool. It's kind of weird that you do that as an affiliate. And I'm thinking, like, if they were your products, I'd totally get it. Let me ask you, do the affiliates have any limits on you selling the product directly on your site? Are you not allowed to be a retailer and an affiliate, or is that a direction that a new buyer could head?
Yeah, as far as I know, there is a limit on being both a distributor, like a direct distributor, and an affiliate at the same time, at least through one of the partners. And honestly, it was not something I was really interested in, only because of all the things that would come along with that as far as payment processing and shipping and returns and things like that. I was much happier just to send the traffic over to them and let them worry about the specifics, and I just collect the commission in between.
What % commission are you getting on the deals?
So both of the products start out at a 15% commission, and one of the affiliate partners will actually bump up to a 20% commission after you pass $10,000 in sales for the month.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, I mean, I could see how there would be some value, especially if the other guy, like, what are they thinking? They're always out of stock with products, right? You're like, look, I can hold inventory. Like, I wish I could just take this over, but it sounds like there might be an issue there, something that a buyer would have to look into.
Yeah, it's definitely something that they've really figured out here recently. And the product stock tool is something that, I still kind of have running in the background. It does still send me alerts, but majority of the time it's always in stock, and I've never had a need to really kind of create another email list, but it's good to have it around.
Gotcha. Okay. So some additional information for a buyer. One of the things I want to make sure, if I'm working with you and I'm buying this business from you, I don't want you to turn around a month after I bought it and build a directly competing site. So would you be willing to sign a non-compete for this very specific niche?
Yeah, definitely. I think that, I do have a lot of interest in this area. I've really kind of, I think fully explored what I can really do there. I don't think that this space is something I'm going to spend a lot of time in, only because I have a few other things that I'm really excited about working on next.
Cool. And then how much support are you offering buyers? I mean, as a new buyer, even a brand new buyer, I'm not too concerned because it's a pretty straightforward business. I mean, it's a review site with a lifestyle piece in terms of the content. There's not a ton of content that needs to be added. You've got a mailing list, but it's pretty small. It's not like the primary driver of business. It's actually, I think, something that a buyer can play with, right? If they've got a 100-person email list, they can test different things, and it's kind of a good learning experience, I think, to kind of like get started and get it figured out. The only thing is the product availability tool. They probably need a little bit of training on that. How much training are you willing to offer to someone buying this business?
Yeah, so definitely would be able to help them out with some of the more specific stuff. I think 30 days of email support, maybe in addition to a couple, hour-long phone calls to really kind of answer some of those technical questions. I mean, I am a technical guy, by trade, so I'm more than happy to hop in and try to, figure out any technical issues that they're having, and really kind of, using some of that time as well to pass on some of my product knowledge and marketing knowledge that I've gained in this specific niche.
Awesome. And, one of the last things I'll say, Adam, is that, sometimes obviously 100% cash upfront offer would be best. But let's say that someone comes along and they say, look, I'm willing to do 70% upfront and I want to do 30% at the end of closing, meaning, after the training is done in 30 days, or they want to do, I'll give you 80% upfront and 5% over the next 4 months, making sure that the earnings stay. Is that something you'd be open to exploring?
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that I would consider. I do kind of have a hefty line of projects lined up for the home renovation already. So I'd need to make sure that it would be something that would allow me to basically pay the contractors that I'm kind of lining up, but it would be something I'd be able to explore.
Of course. And ideally, you're going to get multiple offers, you're going to get multiple interested parties, and then you can make the decision that seems to make the most sense for you.
Absolutely.
Cool, man. All right, let's do a quick wrap up of the business. Again, it's a kitchen appliances niche. This is an affiliate site. You have 2 affiliate partners. It's built in February 2013. The monthly revenue, $4,708 a month. That's a 12-month average. Expenses are $253 a month. Net profit of $4,455 a month. That's a 12-month average. Really quick, what were the expenses for $253 a month?
So basically, that just averages out the hosting cost, the domain cost, and then some of the advertising as well.
Gotcha. Okay. And then this business includes the domain name, the SSL cert, WordPress site files database, product stock alert tool that you built on Heroku, the MailChimp account with about 100 email subscribers, and then the social media accounts that you post on as well. Adam, if you could give me your best pitch in the next 30 seconds on why someone should purchase this business, what would it be?
So I think that this site provides a really great opportunity to get into a very popular and I think growing niche. The site has some pretty advanced features that really helps it to stand out and make it unique among the competitors that are in the space. And I think it has a strong history of earnings with fairly limited effort, and it really has room to grow.
Awesome, man. For anyone listening to this, let's say you're on YouTube or you're somewhere else and you want more information about this listing, it's 40468 over on the Empire Flippers Marketplace. There should be a link in the show notes you can click over to and check out the listing. And then we've got, screenshots of the earnings and all that there. If you're on the listing page right now and you want all the details, including the URL, including access to analytics, including all the details, the nitty-gritty details that Adam will share with you, go ahead and look up on the top right-hand corner. You can make a fully refundable deposit. Once that deposit's been made, we'll send you all of that information and can even put you in contact with the seller to ask additional questions so that you can do your due diligence. Adam, thanks again so much for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.